Reflections of Cynical Gratitude by Porscha A. Aubrey. Sam Thompson sat in his therapist's office, tapping his foot impatiently. Dr. Greenberg, a calm and composed middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a disarming smile, had been his therapist for the past 6 months. Sam's life, by all accounts, was not bad. He had a decent job, a comfortable apartment, and a few close friends. But he was perpetually discontented, viewing the world through a lens of skepticism and cynicism. "Sam," Dr. Greenberg began, "I'd like you to try something new. It's called a gratitude journal." Sam rolled his eyes. "A gratitude journal? Really? That's the best you've got?" "Yes, really," Dr. Greenberg said, unfazed. "I think it could help you focus on the positive aspects of your life." Sam sighed. "Fine, I'll give it a shot. But I'm not promising anything." Dr. Greenberg smiled. "That's all I ask. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. It doesn't have to be profound, just honest." Leaving the office, Sam grumbled to himself about the assignment. What did he have to be grateful for anyway? The world was a mess, people were unreliable, and life was generally disappointing. But he had agreed to try, so later that night he bought a plain brown notebook and a pen. Day 1. Coffee, my apartment, my car. "There," he muttered, closing the journal. "Done." The next few days, Sam's entries remained equally uninspired. Didn't rain today. Clean laundry, Netflix. He continued this way for a week, writing down mundane and surface-level items. It was a task he did grudgingly, with no real change in his outlook. On the 8th day, something unusual happened. His friend, Alex, invited him to a small get-together. Sam, never one to enjoy social gatherings, went out of obligation more than enthusiasm. To his surprise, he had a decent time. The company was pleasant, the conversation engaging, and he laughed more than he had in a long time. That night, as he sat down to write his journal, he hesitated. Could he actually be grateful for an evening he had initially dreaded? Day 8. A surprisingly good time at Alex's. The sound of laughter. A warm bed. Sam noticed a subtle shift within himself as he wrote these words. They felt less forced, more genuine. He still wasn't convinced that this exercise would make any significant difference, but for the first time he acknowledged that perhaps he wasn't giving it a fair chance. Over the next week, Sam tried to be more observant, seeking out moments that brought him a small measure of joy or contentment. One day, he noticed the way the sunlight streamed through his window, casting a warm glow over his living room. Another day, he appreciated the unexpected kindness of a stranger who held the door open for him. Day 15. Morning sunlight. Acts of kindness from strangers. Finding an old favorite song on the radio. As the days turned into weeks, Sam's list grew more varied and detailed. He began to write about things that went beyond the surface. He found himself reflecting on the kindness of his friends, the satisfaction of completing a project at work, and the simple pleasure of a good meal. Day 22. The loyalty of my friends. Finishing a challenging project at work. The taste of a perfectly cooked steak. Though he remained a skeptic at heart, Sam couldn't deny that his perspective was shifting, even if only slightly. He found himself looking forward to the daily ritual of writing in his journal. It became a quiet moment of reflection, a chance to pause and appreciate the small blessings he had often overlooked. One rainy Saturday afternoon, Sam decided to visit his parents. He hadn't seen them in a while, and though he didn't always get along with them, he felt a pang of guilt for neglecting them. The visit went better than expected. His mother cooked his favorite meal, and his father shared stories from his youth that Sam had never heard before. They laughed and reminisced, and Sam felt a warmth he hadn't experienced in a long time. That night, his journal entry came easily. Day 29. A home-cooked meal from Mom. Dad's stories about his youth. The feeling of family. As the months passed, Sam continued his gratitude journal without missing a single day. He started to notice changes in his outlook. He was still a cynic, but his bitterness had softened. He found himself smiling more, even in the face of small annoyances. His relationships improved, and he felt more connected to the people around him. One day at work, his colleague Jenna approached him. "Hey, Sam, you seem different lately. Happier, maybe?" Sam shrugged, a small smile tugging at his lips. "I've been keeping a gratitude journal," he admitted. "It's silly, but it's helped me see things differently." Jenna's eyes widened. "Really? I've heard of those. Maybe I should try it." "Why not?" Sam said. "It couldn't hurt." Months turned into a year, and Sam's gratitude journal had become an integral part of his life. It wasn't a cure-all, but it had undeniably changed him. He still had his moments of cynicism, but they were balanced with a newfound appreciation for the good in his life. On the 1-year anniversary of starting his gratitude journal, Sam decided to read through his entries. He flipped through the pages. He saw a chronicle of his journey, a journey from skepticism to a more balanced perspective. The small, seemingly insignificant moments he had captured painted a picture of a life that was richer and more fulfilling than he had ever realized. Day 365. The journey of the past year. The person I've become. The hope for what lies ahead. Sam closed the journal, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. He knew he would always have a cynical streak, but he had learned that there was value in acknowledging the good amidst the bad. Life wasn't perfect, and it never would be, but it was full of moments worth appreciating. Dr. Greenberg was right, he thought with a wry smile. Sometimes it's the simplest practices that make the biggest difference. As he set his journal aside, Sam felt a flicker of something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. The end.